Hi Capricorn, happy 2020. Can you guys believe it? We have a lot to get to. This is going to be general messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. But guys, I am handling Capricorn a lot differently than the other signs because it's been all about you this whole year, and it's still going to be all about you up until the summer. So I'm going to talk some astrology, and then I'm going to pull a spread for love, for home and family, for career, and then for self for you guys. So I do want to just mention the astrology first, the way I've been doing. If you guys want to fast forward, I hope you don't. I really encourage you to listen to some of the messages that I have just to give you a lay of the land for the year. I'm not going to include every little transit, and every little trine, but there's so much to talk about with you guys. It's craziness, and it's all really good. There is a tremendous focus on your sign this year. Although one of the major players in your life in the recent years, Saturn, is phasing out of your sign. So there might be a fall or a fresh start. The falling apart of something, or the fresh start before you rise again this year, with Saturn and Pluto coming into alignment in Capricorn in January, and then Jupiter with Pluto for the better part of 2020. So in some areas of your life, you most likely, regarding your personal presentation of yourself or your sense of independence, there are big changes here. You're breaking something down here before you rebuild it. And Jupiter visits your sign most of the year, okay, in 2020, and it's a good indication that while you continue to make serious efforts to change and improve your life, you're feeling a lot more confident and happy about doing that, more so than in the past year or two. So this is the kind of year, guys, where there's definitely going to be, there's a division. There's a before section of the year and there's an after section of the year, absolutely. So it can be a period of brand new ventures that have massive long-term potential, and it may be a time when you are bringing a whole new you to the world. I mean, you're just changing in so many ways. Now, interestingly, while Jupiter and Saturn both transit your sign this year, they don't officially meet until they've both moved on to the following sign, which is Aquarius, and we really need to discuss this for a minute. That's not happening, though, until December. So there can be what kind of feels like a lengthy buildup, but ultimately, the new beginnings in your life may be more about business and money for you than about your personality and your sense of self changing necessarily. Now, this isn't to say that your personality development isn't going to be a gigundous focus in 2020, because it is, but that you're going past it, you're moving on, and you're focusing on building your life up and around you and your bright and fantastic new personality, because you guys are just going to be taking chances that you've never taken before. You're going to be stepping out of the box a lot more comfortably. There's just so much here. And this is just a powerful year for making positive lifestyle changes, friendships, connections, and just for expressing yourself more confidently, Capricorn. I mean, personal initiative is strong this year, absolutely. And bettering yourself in some way is going to be the focus. It's going to be something a little different for all of you, because remember, guys, this is about your first house of self. So it's everything that makes you up, which is why this is a big deal. Some of the other signs have it in the relationship house, have it in their work house. You guys have it in everything. Okay, so you might be working on healing any self-image issues or problems with presenting yourself with confidence. And a newer theme also runs through the year, one in which you're discovering yourself creatively or through romantic connections. It could really be either one or the other. It's literally, 6 one, half dozen the other, depending on your circumstance. But you're finding the time to really pursue recreation and entertainment, and hobbies and pastimes, and dating for a lot of you who maybe are experiencing the demise of a relationship or who haven't been in a relationship. You're just stepping into a whole new chapter of your life, and it's a powerful diversion for you. You seem attracted to very unusual avenues this year for self-expression, for ways of having a good time. You're going to be trying different things. Projects, studies, pastimes are just so much more fulfilling this year. And there's a shift of focus occurring gradually as the year moves on. And it's about building your resources and budgeting and paying more attention to daily routines and really taking care of your health, boosting your health by rounding out your lifestyle in simpler ways. Maybe not drinking quite so much, maybe, streamlining your diet a little bit, working in a workout regime, or, working in meditation, whatever speaks to you. Challenges on the home front are possible if you feel too confined or stifled, in your current situation, Capricorn, for sure. Now, this is the thing, renovating even the smallest thing or on an emotional plane, the smallest thing on the emotional plane is in order. And that can do a world of good. Even just the dumbest little thing could make a huge difference. And this effort is going to take some time, though, as Mars rewinds in your home and family sector in the second half of the year. But the rewards are really, really great. So think in terms of improving your relationships with your home, with your family, with your inner self, and recognize that with some work and maybe a little bit of backtracking, you can definitely get to where you want to go in these areas. Think about your relationship with your kids, even all of that's included in this. Now, there's been a strong theme regarding close relationships and the discovery of your independence in the past couple of years. And this is wrapping up by mid-2020. So there can be new or severed, endings here of relationships for many Capricorns with this development. And in 2020, decisions seem to be made, and you're moving forward. You're moving forward regardless, so it's all good. You're moving exactly where you're supposed to go. And love just requires more freedom, more spontaneity, and openness. So repeating those same old patterns, Capricorn, is not going to work in 2020. It's not. You are really about friendship. And even in your romantic relationships. And it requires a little bit of a departure from tradition in that way. Like, you being friends with your partner is going to really suddenly be like such an important thing for you. Even if you think it is important now, it's going to become more so. And because sometimes this can mean, letting your partner take the lead. You seem to be drawing different people into your orbit right now and more than you're accustomed to attracting. So it's a new kind of crowd. New kind of people are going to be entering your energy field for sure. You're also more experimental this year with recreation, creative expression. I think I kind of mentioned that before. I don't want to repeat myself. But you guys get the gist of it, right? There is a lot of changes going on. So many. So with all of that said, I'm going to go right into starting these readings for you. And let's start with love, okay? Let's start with love for general reading for Capricorn love for 2020. Let's see what we have. So I am doing a course of action spread. Don't think Capricorn has ever seen this on, I don't think I've ever done it on YouTube before. Whatever, it's a 4-card spread. I pull qualifiers. I think it's really, for these kind of readings, I think they're really good. Oh, by the way, I have to tell you guys something. That the other day, you guys, a lot of you know that I'm a professor. And so I gave my finals this past week. And one of my students handed the paper, their final, into me and said, "Professor, I just want you to know you are the GOAT," right? And left. And I started laughing because, in my day, goat means like a crackety old lady, right? So I was like, what? And my other students started laughing. They said, greatest of all time. And I said, goat, I have to remember that for Capricorn. Capricorn, you guys are the greatest of all time. You guys rule the zodiac. You know what? God bless all of you for making it through this eclipse transit. That is for sure. I'm a Gemini sun, so we're going to take it over from Cancer and Capricorn, and we're Gemini and Sagittarius taking it over in the summer. So things are going to be lightening up for you guys. All right. So in the love area, love. Okay, so the way this spread works is this right here is your present core situation, and we have the 6 of Swords. So Capricorn, who's leaving? Who's got to go? 6 of Swords is leaving a toxic situation behind and going to a much calmer place. I mean, if you guys could even just see the card, you see how these waters are so rough, these are emotions, and then see how calm the water is there? It's leaving the toxic situation behind with your truth, swords of truth, and moving into a healthier space for you. Now, for those of you who are not able to leave a situation yet, but you know that it's the right thing for you. I'm sure you're certainly entrenched in the planning phase, or these things are going to be coming to fruition and rolling out over the course of 2020. Yeah. And now what you need to keep your eye out for. So this is the Three of Pentacles reverse. In the upright, this is the card of building, right? I call this the architect card with the Three of Pentacles. You have to keep your eye out for somebody who's going to really try to get in your way, who's not going to want to connect with you, who's not going to want to cooperate as far as pushing things along in a way that's going to allow you to rebuild yourself. Now, again, relationships, guys, has to do with your intimate relationship. For those of you not in this space, this could have to do with very, very close friends or business partnerships. Okay, so you need to apply these, however you see fit, okay? But somebody is going to be trying to stop you, get in your way. If you're looking to end something, they're going to make things very challenging for you. And this is something that you just need to keep your eye out for, and just understand that when it happens, it is probably going to be an argument, but one that's well deserved, because here we have the action you should take in the near future, and we have the Five of Swords energy. Swords are truth. This is the type of arguing where you guys are fighting for what's right and what's true and the truth of the situation, dealing very hardcore with reality. But the thing is, whoever it is that you're dealing with here, they do not agree with you. And that's the tricky part with the Five of Swords, because this is one of those energies where, I always say you can show 4 people one thing and walk away and get 4 different perspectives on that one thing. So I feel like less than there being, whoever you're dealing with absolutely fully 100% believes themselves. They believe their own stuff. Believe their own narrative that they've created in their head of how things went in the relationship, in this connection. And they are really wanting to get in your way. They don't want you to be happy. There's an element of bitterness here I'm getting, for sure. But I feel like there's hurt here. There's a lot of hurt here. So if there is bitterness, if there is any malice, it's responsive to any kind of hurt that's happening here. Now, the outcome position, and I do want to say this, okay, with the course of action spreads, the outcome position is based on the energies that we're in right now. You have the ability, because we're energetic beings and we have free will, right? Through your choices to change this. But as we, are right now, the King of Swords energy is the outcome. And I don't like this as the outcome, because this indicates that there's going to be a lot of dishonesty passing by you. Somebody's really going to be trying to take heavy-duty advantage of you, Capricorn. They're going to try to, there's a lot of manipulative energy here. And I'm getting there's like a no contact. It's like, a first thing that I'm being called to talk about is for those of you who may be going through a divorce or some kind of separation, where it's like, they are getting in your way every step of the way, and they won't talk to you. Everything is like, go through my lawyer, or going through friends, or going through family, but they won't actually sit down and have a mature conversation about things. There's a very immature vibe about this to me. Yeah. So let's see what else we can pull here. Because I feel like that's just like the beginning here. Let's see. More on this Three of Pentacles energy, please. Three of Pentacles reverse energy, please. Information here. 2 Pentacles. Move here. Yeah, listen. Somebody does not want you to be happy. They don't. The wheel of the year is all about fate, right? It's like the wheel Lady Luck at Vegas, right? This is very fated, so it depends on how things land. You have to look at the surrounding cards. So I feel like whoever it is that you're dealing with, they know that you have a decision, that you're trying to make a choice. Okay? And this is in the area of what you have to look out for. So you really have to look at the choice here. How you handle the ending of this particular either intimate relationship, friendship, or business dealing is very important, Capricorn. Very important. Because I feel like depending on how you choose to move forward with this Two of Pentacles energy, you can handle it one way, or I feel like there's another way that you can handle it. And really, however you handle it is really going to drive the outcome. Really. But I do get that ultimately you are in control. You are ultimately in control of this. And do not lose control of your situation here. Now, I'm feeling very strong that this has a lot to do for those of you who are either getting divorced, those of you who are ending business partnerships where there's money involved. Okay, so I feel like those two situations would involve money or children, okay? So they're very high commodity, so to speak, okay? And then I'm also getting, though, that some of you, if you are dealing with a narcissist, they are truly trying to trump everything that you're saying to make it seem like you're crazy and that everything is your fault. So those are the scenarios I'm getting very, very strong if you resonate with any of those. And these are things you need to watch out for. Because if you are dealing with a narcissist, somebody, maybe they don't have narcissistic personality disorder, but they have a lot of those tendencies, that's such something that somebody with that those characteristics would do. They would just not want you to be happy at any expense, not without them. So they would do anything. Okay, so you really have to play your cards right. You can handle it this way. You can handle it that way. Be careful with how you handle it because your decision is going to drive the outcome. But at all times, every decision that you make sure that you're grounded, you are in control of your demons, and that you are ultimately in control of how things roll out. In other words, don't let your heart or your emotions trump your sensibility. And I know you can do a Capricorn because you guys are really good at that, okay? So just don't get so caught up in the emotion of it all that you end up back in a situation or not growing out of a situation that you're just not meant to be in anymore. You know, really. Let's get some information on this Five of Swords. Tower. Well, I mean, this is the action you should take in the near future. End it. This has to go, Capricorn. And I'm so sorry if this is something that you don't want to go. I really am. I'm so sorry because I feel so much emotion here. And when we get the Tower in reverse, it's not easy. There's a lot of anger and bitterness and hurt and betrayal involved in that. Yeah, but you are ready for the truth. You're ready for the truth. You are not going to settle for anything less than the truth. You don't feel like somebody has been treating you respectfully and honestly, and you're just never getting the whole story for some reason. And those days are gone. You're not doing it. This is you saying, no, you know what? This has to be over. I can't do this anymore. In my life now, I need truth. I need to move into a space where there is nothing but truth. Whether I like it or not. And look what you get in the outcome. Look at how the outcome changes when you do that. Three of Cups energy. This is beautiful. This is you ending up in a healthy relationship. This is you meeting somebody new, which you guys are meant to do this year, by the way. Those of you who are not in healthy spaces where you've been on some sort of hamster wheel and trying to make things work, trying to fit that circle in a square, you know, trying like crazy and it's not working, that's ending and you're meeting somebody new. For those of you who are in business relationships, business partnerships, you guys are ending things and you're going to come across somebody on your path that's very different than anybody that you would have ever thought of going into business with, and it's going to turn out beautifully. Yeah. Let's just, pull all of these out. We got the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. This is just about, this does have to do with a business connection. You guys are going to be making a lot of money. If this has to do with an intimate relationship, what else do Pentacles mean, Capricorn? I always say mental, physical, and emotional connection. It's how we do relationship. It's how we communicate. It's our intimate life. It's our social life together with our partner. You got the King of Pentacles. This is so positive and so beautiful. And then we have the Six of Cups energy, which is lovely. And forgive yourself if you do a little reminiscing during this time, but you got to let go of all of that. You have to let go of all of that, because you have that you're going to be meeting somebody that is going to be like tickling the child inside of you again, that's been sleeping, I feel like, for quite a while. And it's time for that part of you to wake up again and enjoy the beautiful, simplistic things about life. So this is really good. Really, really good. Just make sure that whenever when you get this new relationship, that you be mindful that you need to have balance in your life, right? You need to have balance with your work life and your intimate life. Okay? But good stuff. Painful. And I feel like this is where that division is going to be, Capricorn, that I mentioned before, right? How it literally is going to be like, okay, page is turning. Oh, look at this. We're on a whole new chapter. That's literally what this year is going to be like. And I have to say, I'm vibing just because we have Venus. We have Venus making a pretty extended stay in the spring into the summer. And that's when everything is moving the hell out of your sign and going into Gemini and Sagittarius. So I feel like a lot of that page turning and the finalization of everything is going to be happening around then. Yeah. All right. Let's get a snapshot of your career. Oh, where you're at now. Some of you guys must be ending some sort of cycle in your career right now. What to keep an eye on. Ooh, I like that. That's opportunity. Eight of Pentacles is opportunity. This is you building. Ten of Swords. Okay. Okay. So, end of a cycle. You're not happy about it. This is an end to a business that you've had, or at least just maybe you're downsizing, or the way it was is transitioning into something else. Because that's the thing, in this energy, nothing's staying the same. So you're either going to transform it, you're going to end it. One of the two. Okay, so this has to do with your career. So you don't have to be changing careers altogether, but positions within your company. You might be changing careers altogether, but I want to say that just because it doesn't necessarily mean that. Could mean you're just starting working for, you're working for another company. Maybe you're working for a company, you're going to start working for yourself, whatever, fill in the blank. This is general in that way. But whatever you're in, there's an ending, and because it's reverse, you're up in your feels about it for sure. For sure, this is not easy. You have not had an easy time. You're not. Keep your eye out for opportunity. Eight of Pentacles, nice. Eight of Pentacles is an interesting energy because you're not arriving yet, right? But what Eight of Pentacles is about training in new areas. So there's a newness about this, right? There's this is the kind of energy where you're like, okay, I'm starting new in this thing, and I'm going to save my money so that I could update the programs that I'm using, or I want to save my money so that I could buy a new home for, I want to move into a new home. A lot of you have moved this year. You're going to be moving this year. Between 19 and 20, a lot of you guys are moving. Maybe you're saving your money to do that. But this idea of the Pentacle energy, I'm getting within your career, a lot of you are going for new training, additional training. You're getting to know a new kind of industry. Those of you who are entrepreneurs, maybe you're branching out and you're opening up either new locations, or maybe you're opening up different types of locations in addition to the ones that you have already. But there's a newness about this where you're learning something new that you're going to be building through. This is so positive. Really, really positive. Meeting the right people. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Action you should take in the near future. Two of Swords reversed. Don't jump at the first opportunity that comes to you. Capricorn, I feel like you're going to be getting a number of opportunities this year. And the Two of Swords is about being across purposes with yourself or with somebody else. Like really, this is the kind of energy where, say, for example, if you're opening a business and you have partners where you guys are trying to figure out the nuts and bolts of how everything is going to go, and you're having a really hard time actually coming to a full decision, don't lose your head and discard the whole opportunity. Don't do that. Rather, go into the reverse here, or we want you in the reverse here, because this is kind of pressing the pause button and not allowing yourself to make a decision. right? And I'm going to pull more energies on this, but this is you not being reactive, but rather responsive and letting yourself think about everything, okay? Because, and the reason you need to do this is because of this Ten of Swords energy, okay? This Ten of Swords energy. And again, this goes according to the energies that we're in right now. So we have the Death card, and then we have two ending cards, two ending of cycle cards, okay? So what I'm getting here is that if you don't sit and press that pause button, okay? If you don't do that, you don't want to be flippant about anything, Capricorn. Don't be flippant, okay? You don't want to do that, because this is not gonna, it's not gonna work out, okay? It's not gonna work out. And the thing is, I feel like for many of you are gonna resonate with this. This is sort of like the revisiting to some sort of opportunity that you were part of once before, or feels very familiar to you, or you given another go with a business partner in a different area. But let's get some more information on this Two of Swords. Yeah. So, okay. I'm getting that you're going to be presented with a few different situations, and you're going to need to figure out which ones are not going to bring you growth and which ones are going to bring you money. But it's going to end up being, and Capricorn, I feel like you're going to be very clear on which one is going to do what. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords here, correct? What does swords stand for? Swords are truth. Swords are ideas, but they're truth, okay? One truth is going to bring you money. The other truth is going to bring you no growth, the Empress reverse, okay? So this is you sitting and trying to figure out, all right, which one am I going to grow and which one am I not? And you kind of going back and forth, but somebody is really going to be giving you a hard time with this. The Seven of Swords energy is fighting about, you know, what's true, what's not, what's real, what's not, and really trying to hash out the right move. I feel like somebody's going to be trying to manipulate you one way or another, having to do with your work, with your career. And this is something that you're going to have to just be contending with right now. But I do feel like you're going to be ending something. Yeah. I mean, and for many of you, this might just be the extension of this death energy. So for many of you, you're probably at the end of the cycle, right, with this career situation, this business venture, whatever it is, but you're not quite out of it yet. So these energies could certainly be reflective of that, where you're realizing, okay, you know what, if I continue in this, if I continue with this business partner, or I continue with this company or in this position, I'm just not going to grow. I'm not going to get what I need. Whereas I feel like if I go in a different direction, I'm definitely going to get that King of Pentacles energy. I'm really going to get the money and the support and exactly what I want out of my career. But there's this idea of conflict. You're really dealing with conflict. Somebody who's quite manipulative. You know, I don't like that energy, the Seven of Swords, because it is the card of thievery, and we're talking about that with swords and arguing. We're talking about deflection, talking about gaslighting, somebody who does like just nasty kind of arguing. They're not fair. There's a heavy manipulation there, and you're just going to want to end things. But let's see if we can't get more energy on this to turn that around. Yeah, you know that you are not staying where you are. Ace of Cups, okay, reverse. You're not staying where you are. There's no forgiveness there. And then we have the Chariot reverse. So you're probably dealing with a business partner who is really irresponsible, like really irresponsible. Chariot reverse is that car on the country road that goes off, I always say, into the forest and ends up at the bottom of the ditch, face down, getting bad advice, telling themselves some ridiculous stories, like really trying to convince themselves of narratives that have no connection to reality, just irresponsible with money, you know, anything like that. You're just not forgiving. You're not forgiving them. You want better for yourself, Capricorn. This is just a situation in general that you just don't want to be a part of anymore. Yeah. And there are lies there. There are lies. There are lies. There are lies and there are secrets. And the person who you're dealing with in your career that you're having this issue with, they are not in touch with themselves. But the more you are exposed to this situation, you're realizing more about yourself. And you're really getting in touch with what it is that you want, which is what I really like, okay? I really like that. Yeah. No building. There's no building. Okay, Spirit. we get it. This is just not a healthy situation. We don't need any more confirmation for that. I'm going to ask you respectfully to please give me some information about the moving forward. Moving forward, please. Capricorn, career, moving forward. They're leaving. Thank you for those messages. We understand. There's no growth. What do they need to do now? Okay. 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 Yeah. This is very internal, Capricorn. You're going to need to work out stuff so that you can open yourself up to a really good opportunity. The Three of Swords is the card of pain, even in a career read. This is something external to the two of you. So listen, maybe this was you being passed up for a huge promotion that you by all rights should have gotten. This has to do with you not getting the money that you were promised. This has to do with a business partner acting really irresponsible with money and getting you guys into a big pit. There's whatever it is, there's pain here. But in reverse, the truth is coming out, and you're mandating that the truth is coming out, and you're acknowledging that you are not motivated. You're just not willing to take part in anything that's like that ever again. And that's so healthy. You really need to be very clear on that. And then you're moving away from the situation. You're moving away from this career situation that you're in right now. And you're absolutely not going to be willing to tolerate any injustice moving forward. You're just not. You're not going to do it. You've had a lot of shady nonsense happen to you, and you are going to be so hyper vigilant. You're just putting the kibosh on it the second you see it in the future. And I really, really like this. Because in the upright, it would be more about you demanding, fairness and this and that. But in the reverse, it's you being on the lookout for any sort of unjust behavior that's just not going to suit you. And then as a result of all of that, we have the Three of Cups, which is about you celebrating and being really, really happy in your career ultimately. But again, I feel like you're going to have to go through some stuff. There's a tearing down that happens first before anything ends up coming out of it. So I feel like, this is what we have to look for. Okay, good. And then we have I just pulled to clarify for the Ten of Wands outcome, and we have the Knight of Wands. I'm sorry, the Ten of Swords outcome, and we got the Knight of Wands. So I really like this. This is you being a little trepidatious because you have your armor on, right? But what are Wands? Wands, it's a fire in your belly, and there's a willingness, and there's a motivation. And this is about starting something new and feeling really excited and motivated about it. So I like that. There's willingness, there's motivation, there's a fire in your belly, there's celebration. You're with good people. So I really like that. And I feel like this is going to bring you into this Eight of Pentacles energy, this thing that you're keeping your eye out for. Because you want to grow, Capricorn. You want to grow. You want to grow. And you want to grow differently. But that's going to mean something different to all of you. All of you. Maybe, money's not the thing, but you just want to try something totally different. Could be that. All right. Let's go into home and family. What does Capricorn need to know about home and family? Home and family. Home and family for Capricorn. Home and family for Capricorn in 2020. Any messages will be appreciated, please. Of course, the action spread. Two of Wands. You're in a state of transition, Capricorn. Nice. Keep your eye out for that. See it? Four of Wands. Firm foundation, celebration, engagement, marriage. What? Listen, don't be surprised. Even if you're married now and you're getting divorced, don't be surprised if this ends up. Just don't rush into anything. Not the Capricorns do generally. You guys typically don't. All right. So, home and family. So I feel like for many of you, you're at a little bit of a crossroads where you're at a new beginning. So some of you, if you were married or in a long-term partnership and it has fallen apart. You are trying to figure out where you're going next. Those of you who are married and everything is otherwise okay, I do definitely feel that many of you are finishing up going through a cycle. It's been a tough cycle. Now, for many of you, the biggest struggles could have been in your career that ended up creating strain on the home front. You know what I mean? For others of you, I'm getting that this could be a new phase with your children, right? I feel like many Capricorns have had a lot of changes go on with their children. So yeah, let's see what else we got. But anyway, there's this willingness to have this new cycle within your home and family sector. Keep your eye out for the firm foundation. This is so positive. I mean, we all should, right? We should all always keep our eye out for anything that's going to help incite a firm foundation or further solidify something. Because who can't afford a little further solidification of something when it comes to home and family? Now, the action that you should take in the near future is the Five of Pentacles reverse. I think this is a very interesting energy to get because for some of you, now when we're talking about home and family, we kind of have to look at both definitions of the pentacle energy, because this can have to do with money. This could also have to do with emotional, physical, and mental support. You know, all the types of support that there are. But this is the card of lack, and in the reverse, it's very, very mental. So this is in your mind. In your mind, the recommendation here is that you stay hyper-focused on are you, and asking yourself one question, and there's only one answer to it. Are you being fed the way you need to be fed, emotionally, mentally, and physically, within your home and family? So this includes a relationship with a spouse, the relationship with your children, and even your connection with your physical home. Are you getting what you need to be fed in this situation? Okay? This is you getting very real and identifying where do you feel like there's lack. If you are the only one bringing the money in and everyone is very busy spending it, and it's not even that you have a hard time at all with making the money and being the sole provider, but if there's this element where it's almost like overspending to a disrespectful degree, with no regard for how hard you work and all of the sacrifices that you make to provide in the way that you do, you know, this could certainly be an element. For others of you, you may not be the sole provider, but you may have a provider who's actually very greedy with the money and in an unusual way. Not that you're looking for anything above and beyond, but just the basics, you know, within the confines of the relationship that you guys made, the agreement that you guys made at one point. And if you feel like there's lack there, all this stuff needs to be addressed. It's not going to be able to move into this next cycle. This is you identifying the area of lack in your home and your family life. If you don't like the way that you're connecting with your children, this time to change that, whatever that means. Changing the dynamic that you have with your kids, you know? Absolutely. Because the thing is this, if you don't change that, we have the full reverse. You're not going to be willing to stay in that situation anymore. You're just not willing. The Fool is about being willing to go into that next chapter, to take the risks. Yeah. I mean, this is besides the point. Yeah, that's what you want, of course. You want to keep your eye out for that. But Five of Pentacles, let's get some energies on that. Oop. Knight of Cups. Eight of Cups. Yeah, Capricorn, you have so much love to give. You have so much love to give. Capricorn, a lot of you, don't make this fit. Don't make this fit if it's not your reading. And you're not going to, the thing is, I can't even say that right now because I'm feeling that this is not happening yet. This is not going to happen, I feel like, in at least like a quarter to halfway into the year, but you guys are going to be leaving because there's so much disappointment here. You have so much to give. You have so much to give. You have so much love to give to family, to your children, to a spouse, to a home. You have so much, but you have to go. And this is creating so much anxiety in you. So much anxiety. But the thing is this, I like this because as the year progresses, not that I like that you have the Nine of Swords energy, but I like that it's reversed because it does show me that you're going to be getting that support of evolving out of it. You're going to start to feel less anxiety, less, less. And you're just going to be realizing things about one after the other. All of these truths are going to be popping at you like fireworks. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there is something going on in your home and family that is a Three of Cups reverse energy. This is irresponsible behavior. This is perhaps your spouse not being very on the up and up with you, a little shady, not being very forthcoming with you regarding certain things. This could certainly be your kids acting a little shady, not on the up and up. You're questioning whether they're involved in things that they shouldn't be involved in. And you almost feel, on some days, Capricorn, I'm feeling like you feel like a stranger in your own house. Like people are just hiding things from you. They're just not telling you things. They're not telling you things. They're not telling you things. And you're just really being so over it. Not that you're over your love for these people, but you're over allowing this to even just happen in your life anymore. You're just not, very disappointed, very restless, very restless. This is the checklist card. Capricorn, you have to look at yourself though too. What have you been allowing? You have to get in touch with that as well when it comes to your home and family. What have you been allowing your spouse to get away with? What have you been allowing your kids to get away with? But this is you putting your foot down saying, you know what, if they continue to do A, B, and C, I don't know how we can have any kind of relationship with them. Yeah. Two of Pentacles. You just being so confused. So confused. You're just not sure how to handle it. You're going to go into a deep introspective state with the Hermit energy. And you're going to be going into that mental space, thinking everything through. But you are going to come up with a very, very solid, practical solution, because the outcome here is the Ten of Pentacles energy. It's just going to take you a little bit to get to that point. You're going to go through some disappointment and disillusionment within your family. But you're going to realize Ten of Pentacles energy is about you coming up with a new way of being able to talk to your kids, of being able to connect with them. You're going to come up with a new way of being able to deal with your spouse. If you guys are staying together, this is wiping the decks clean, going for some solid counseling. Right? For those of you who are able to make it through that. For others of you, this is an ending and you moving into a much better place. Where it's just really leveling your life up, where you feel the support and the connection and the respect that you feel like you deserve. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty obvious. Let me just pull a couple of cards on the Four of Wands. Tell me a little bit about the Four of Wands. A little bit about the Four of Wands energy here. Page of Swords, somebody coming in with the truth. That could actually even be you, right? This can actually be you, because it's a core card. You being really honest with yourself about this whole situation, and you wanting to start a new cycle, right? And then we have the Nine of Cups energy, which is beautiful. This is you really having your cups filled, really working towards that Ten of Cups energy, which is beautiful. This is wish fulfillment. Right? This is wish fulfillment. So you're absolutely meeting. So Capricorn, this is not the relationship read at all. But I feel like whatever is happening here, you're going to end up creating a new, firmer foundation. So for those of you who are having challenging relationships right now with your kids, you guys are going to be able to use this Ten of Pentacles to come up with a new way of connecting and communicating with them so that you can have a new, strong foundation. And you're doing this because you're letting yourself be really honest about the reality of the situation. What have you allowed them to get away with? What have you not seen? All of that. Taking ownership where you're supposed to take ownership. No more, no less. You know what I mean? But also demanding the respect that you deserve. And then you're going to end up having this beautiful new rekindling of a beautiful new type of relationship with your kids, with your spouse, okay? This could certainly be with your spouse as well. If you guys have just been on such different pages, if it resonates with you in that way, with your in your home sector. For others of you, let's say everything is okay with your partner and everything's okay with your kids, but you really aren't liking where you live. You're just not liking where you live. It's not resonating with you anymore. You're going to be making changes to your living environment, or you're going to be moving. But there are changes being made. You don't like how you feel in your home and family, and you're making changes. And I want you to really stay grounded, Capricorn, and stay open, because beautiful energies are coming in to make these really good shifts for you to end up in that Four of Wands space. So I really do like that for you. All right. Now let's just pull the last couple of things about your sense of self. Capricorn. You're the only one that I'm doing the 4 levels of the spread for. I know it creates a longer video, but I feel like you need that. And I want to give that to you for the holidays as a present. Capricorn, sense of self. Capricorn. Capricorn, of course, you keep your eye out for the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. But you're the 8 of Wands right now in reverse. I feel like a lot of you are not very happy right now because you've been trying so hard to save something. You've trying so hard to save a relationship. You're trying so hard to salvage that business partnership. A lot of you really, at the end of the day, don't want to leave your job. You just wish things were different. You keep fighting for this relationship with your kids, fighting to straighten things out within your family. As the 8 of Wands is about, in the upright, it's about having been at war and still having a little bit of juice left in you to keep fighting. But in the reverse, it's, you're just so tired. You're so tired of the fighting. Deep, like in your bones, you could feel it. You just don't want the fighting anymore. Now, a lot of you may have felt this, been feeling this energy already, you know, because this is very much reflective of this eclipse. I mean, we have the eclipse happening and you guys on Christmas, right? But this is happening, like really feeling these energies at least a month before. What am I kidding? Since 2008, people, really? I mean, seriously, not this particular energy, but you've been feeling like it's been a rough go. So you just not wanting to defend yourself anymore. Not wanting to fight for whatever it is anymore. Keep your eye open for the Queen of Pentacles. Because the Queen of Pentacles is what you need. Queen of Pentacles is somebody who, first of all, understands money gets money and understands your love for work and what you do. I have to laugh because I do have some Capricorns who are like, what's the matter with me? I hate working, you know, or I don't. This is the archetype, right? It depends on what else is in your chart, obviously. But Pentacles also meaning mental, emotional, and physical connection. And this is about meeting somebody, getting into a situation, meeting a group of people who feed you in a way that you need to be fed right now. That's going to be different for all of you, right? Action you should take in the near future. The Death card. It's reversed, so it's not going to be easy. But it's like so many of you are on the precipice of something where you either ended something and everything is still in your energy field, or you're about to end something. But, you know, the advice here is to end this cycle. There is nothing about it that's going to end up serving you. You need to end this cycle for you. This is about your sense of self, okay? You need to end the version of Capricorn that allowed themselves to stay in that job, to stay in that marriage that you knew was bad for a long time, to stay in that just dating relationship, that friendship, stay in close connection with that family member instead of loving them from a distance. That version of you, Capricorn, needs to go because you're being rebuilt. So you need to celebrate the death of who you were, forgive yourself for any of the poor choices you may have made. Know that at every point you did the best you knew how. All the decisions you made, You always did the best you could, but now it's time to let that go. You got to let it go. It's not going to be easy. The Five of Wands. This is self-confliction. You're going to be fighting with yourself. You're going to be fighting with yourself. You're going to be afraid to have a new beginning. That's normal. Six of Swords. You're going to be moving away from it, though. Capricorn, look, you're going to be moving away. You're going to be moving away from this pain. Don't let your ego get in the way of you having a new start. Because look what you have. The Three of Cups. You're going to really like the new you. Honestly. You really are. You're going to just really like how in touch you are with yourself. The Three of Cups, I mean, there's a lot of energy there having to do with emotions. Yeah. Yeah, and the Six of Pentacles. I like this. This is you really counting on you. Six of Pentacles energy. This is you counting on you. This is saying at the end of the day, one thing I know is I can count on myself. Not that you're going to be isolating yourself from anyone, but just understanding that you're pretty damn great. And that at the end of it all, you can count on yourself first and foremost. And you don't need anyone else's approval. You don't need anyone else to be okay with what you're doing. It's about you approving of yourself. Beautiful. But you have to end that part of yourself first. Capricorn, this is what I have for you right now. I'm going to see you guys next week for the January readings. But until then, those of you who celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, happy everything, guys. I will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope this was in some way helpful for you. Take care now. Bye-bye.